First off, I would like to introduce Daffy. Okay.
Hello.
So, you ready?
Yes.
All right. So today we're actually going to go through a little bit of my past. Something we've actually experienced when I was a kid. I say we because it was me and my brother. Michael's holding the camera. Okay, so when we were kids, we always knew about this cornfield over here. And we would always make little jokes. And at one point, a long time ago, we had like an experience where this guy jumped out of the cornfields. And we always made little jokes about that ever since, that time. That was like when we were 13. And then we decided one day, hey, screw it, let's just go back there. And so we went back there, and man, it had like little kennels. It had all of these like crazy, just like wells and stuff. It's just all these dilapidated buildings, but it was like where you store animals. And so we thought that's weird. And so we just kind of hung around there, and one of the wells had a hose coming from a tree right next to it, and it was dangling right inside the well. So of course we kind of dared each other look in there. You look in there, and there was literally a dog dangling from the hose. What's still there, and which is good that it's still there, is that tree, because that was the tree that we saw that had the water hose tied to the bottom of it, and then it just went straight up to that branch. Yes. And then down into the well.
Yeah, I mean,
just a random hose.
Yeah, it was like green, one of those just authentically green, regular
water
hoses that you see.
And at the end of the water hose was a dog hanging by its neck down in there, and a guy was gutting it.
The guy was down there gutting it?
Yeah. We heard barking at first, and then that's when we crept over there and peered down, and the guy didn't notice us seeing there until Brandon, he actually made a whimper, and the guy looked up at us, and we fucking ran.
Years later, like every so often, we would always see like little signs around people's yards, and it would say missing dog, missing animal, all the time. And years later, I was telling the story to a friend of mine, and he goes, well, let's just go there. I said, okay. So we get over there, and we're showing him the place. Then after a while, he was like, man, this is boring as fuck. Right? He was just like, this is boring and stuff. And then so we started to leave, and coming up on a motorcycle right to the place was a guy with a shotgun.
Oh, yikes.
And the guy then shot at us. We all started running away, and he starts chasing us because he owned the property or something. Now keep in mind, there's also dilapidated cars over there. There was all this stuff. And he chased us through all these people's yards way back over there, all these people's yards. And even a friend of mine, Brandon, he got caught up in all of this barbed wire. I mean, we got scratched up to hell.
Oh, yeah.
And this guy constantly, after that, we went back to Brandon's house. Well, after that, Brandon was missing all of the screens off of all of his windows in his whole entire place.
That's wild.
And we could actually hear somebody walking around at night, where he would be like, yo, are you guys coming to my house and like banging on my window at night? It's like, no. And so we were like, oh man, it must be the guy
on the motorcycle.
So we all we would spend the night at his house and try to do something where we would catch this guy. Yeah, exactly. And we got excited about that, but then the real world implications started to come up, and this guy was doing that. So we actually went out there And those vehicles, we started trashing the vehicles. We took baseball bats to them. We were just breaking them to pieces. But then we found mail, and we found where that mail goes, and it was like 3 streets away.
Okay.
So we delivered the mail.
Okay.
And we wrote on the paper. And so after that, we never had any encounters with him again. But
you just like made him feel like the mafia. He messed with the mafia. How'd they find out my address?
Right. But it was weird. I don't know what this guy was doing to these dogs, to these animals and stuff. But I know there's a house over here, and the old man watches you. The old man is watching you constantly, like if you're going that area. I remember going over there a few times, and the old man is like, "Where are you guys going? Why are you going down there?" And stuff. So
Very Pet Cemetery.
it was a very weird, crazy little situation that happened. And I just kind of want to show you the place. Now, keep in mind that was almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, almost 2 decades ago.
So I don't know how much it's changed. So we'll see.
It still is a field.
I bet you the wells have to still be there.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah. So you can see like the old barbed wire. Oh wait, hey, there's one of the wells right here.
Very moist out here.
Yep. Extremely. Okay. There's snakes out here, so let's avoid getting bit. Oh, you can see some of the wells got covered.
Oh. I wonder if the dog's skeleton is still in there.
I don't know. It's right there.
Is it that one that you saw?
Yeah. There used to be kennels all across here.
Really?
Yeah.
That's scary. Sounds almost like an abusive way to take care of like strays. I can see how this is very scary to a 12-year-old.
This is
That looks like the hole from the movie It. Holy crap.
switching part of the stuff.
The hose?
Part of something.
Well,
The hose was attached to this. Yeah. Yeah.
it's scary. Definitely
Dangling.
not a place you want to trip and fall. It seems like this was like a...
Step back. That brick is breaking in half. I don't want you to fall back down there.
I think I would lunge myself back.
I don't think so. You don't have good reflexes. You're getting older.
That's some good audio down there.
You can see some of the kennel stuff over here.
Hello? Hello? Anybody down there? Nothing. No clowns. No clowns. Okay. What'd you find, Gerald? Is that a pentagram? Or a Star of David? That looks like a witchcraft thing. That,
And you can see one of the old buildings torn down over there.
I'm gonna take a picture of that. Because that looks like something. We'll get to that later.
There's more shit over here. Torn down. There was a few more wells.
Could have just been a bar mitzvah party out here.
Yeah, there's actually a few more wells, so be careful where you step.
So technically, we're standing above hollow ground.
Where you can just fall right through.
Yeah, because there's a giant reservoir underneath us.
Yeah, see, here's some of the buildings.
I feel like one of these is going to be a trapped floor
I
step.
feel like I'm gonna step on a snake.
Very interesting.
it.